guys, and welcome to the vlog. I'm not sure if you guys can hear me because the wind is blowing through right now. It feels really nice because it's extremely hot, so it's nice to be in the shade, but I'm not sure if you guys can hear me. So I've kind of tossed around the idea of if I should do this into its own video or not. We did only stay for a couple days, so of course there isn't we didn't do everything while we were there, but I thought it would be kind of helpful to update people on what to do with the whole virus situation in this specific national park. So about 2 weeks ago we went on a trip to Utah to Zion National Park. This is a trip that I've been wanting to do for a while. I specifically saw a picture of the Narrows and I thought I wanted to do that. I looked it up. It seemed easy enough for a big group of people to do from differing age groups, and so I said, let's go to Utah and let's do this. I'd rather not go, just kids and I, on a big hike like that. So my family was in. My sister just graduated, so this was like a graduation trip for my sister. So we booked the hotel, and I think it was like a month in advance. We booked the hotel and we were set to go about a week or two after they had reopened, like really immediately. We almost canceled the trip because we thought they would still be closed, but they had reopened right before the trip. So anyways, we got to Utah. It was like a 9-hour drive from where we were at, which is super easy compared to the drives that we had been doing. A 9-hour drive now with a bunch of people stuffed in a car together was difficult there on the way there. But on the way back, we had kind of gotten into our grooves of who's sitting by who and what we need to eat and how to communicate and what's an easy way to keep everybody happy on the way back. Once we got there, we stayed at the Spring Hill Suites by Marriott, which is in Springdale at the very bottom of the national park. So it was maybe like 5 or 6 minute drive to the entrance of the park from where we had stayed. It was absolutely amazing. Because of the virus, everything was on sale, so we probably would not have stayed there if there wasn't a virus with a huge sale. But it was so nice. I mean, the pool, we were able to swim in the pool and in the hot tub and be able to see just the outline of the top of the mountain, and it was gorgeous. And they had little trails that led from the actual hotel into the forest or out of the river and stuff, so it was absolutely amazing. The rooms were nice. It was a good place for us to stay and just kind of come back and relax after a long day of hiking. So we kind of took our sweet time and was late to the first day that we had the hotel, and we didn't get there till midnight, so we pretty much just got there and went to sleep. We couldn't even see like how beautiful the outlines of the mountain were because it was dark outside. So we got there, went to sleep. We woke up relatively early the next morning. Because of the virus, they were not allowed to have their normal breakfast that they do. So what they had done is just had dinner or breakfast packaged into a bag, and you can go to the front desk and pick up however many bags you need and eat. With staggering times of people getting up early for hikes or doing different things, it was relatively like open and easy to do the first day. So we had gotten our food and we went out to one of the upper balconies to eat, and it was so nice. It was empty, it was just us, it was a beautiful view. We got to talk and decide what type of hikes that we were going to do for the day. Again, not knowing, like there's so much unknown to this trip, not knowing what we were going to be able to get into or to do. We ate our breakfast and then we went out. So the first day, which I totally recommend, we just drove through the entire park just to see what there was, see all the different views. It was gorgeous. It gave us the time to kind of like figure out what we wanted to do or where we wanted to stop and take pictures, and it was really nice. So we drove through and we found this pull-off spot where you can kind of just pull off on the side of the road and you can do a trail that was on the other side of the road, or you can kind of just like get yourself down the mountain and find a way to go. So we kind of did that, and we made our own trail. We took ourselves down the side of the mountain and we just made our own trail. Like my dad, my sister, and my little brother Sam climbed all the way up the mountain with Bodhi, and they were at the top so they could be able to see different trails and different paths. And Gideon, my mom, Sparrow, and I were at the bottom through the riverbed. It was like dried out, but a dried out riverbed where we could see different like caves and paths and stuff. And so it kind of helped us having high and low. and we found some really cool paths that we would not have found if they weren't up high. I don't think we would have gone down that path to tell that it was like a crevice, and it was really cool. So we did that the first day. We just explored and found our way. After that, what did we do that day? Yeah, after that, we kind of just came back to the hotel, hung out in the pool. The boys absolutely love the water. And then we planned for the next day. So the next day we wanted to do the Narrows. That was like my one big thing that I wanted to do on this trip. I know somebody tossed out like the Emerald Pools. So I have like this huge mosquito bite. I'm trying not to itch. Cringy, I know. Somebody tossed out the Emerald Pools. My sister really wanted to do Angel's Landing. We weren't sure if that was just gonna be her or my dad, or who was gonna be able to do that at all. So we were saving that for the last day. But this day we were gonna do the Narrows. My mom had talked to people at the hotel, and they were like, you gotta get there at 2:30 in the morning. And that wasn't us. So our original plan was to get there at 5:30 a.m. And after my mom talked to people at the hotel, she was like, no, we are gonna get up and we're gonna be there by 4:30, I think. And I was like, okay, by this point it's super late and we are not like mentally prepared for this, but that's what we're gonna do because I came here for the Narrows. So we went to bed. We woke up at 4, very early. We put ourselves together. We got everybody in the car. Of course, everybody was moving slow. We had a big group of people, so to get everybody to move fast was extremely difficult. But I think we got there at like 4:45. The reason why you have to get there early is because with the virus, the shuttle systems are shut down unless you reserve like a specific bus shuttle from different companies, which are fairly expensive, but I honestly think that would have been worth it for the amount that we had walked if you can't get there at 2:30 in the morning. So we got there at 4:45 and we had to wait all the way until like 6:30. They said they were gonna open the gates at 6. They didn't open them until 6:30. So we kind of just sat in our car and waited around expecting the kids to fall asleep, which nobody did. We were all fully awake. We were worried we weren't gonna get in because Hope and Sam got out and counted the cars in front of us. There was at least 60 cars in front of us. So we did get into the main entrance and we were like, yeah, we're getting in, like we're doing great. We park and we still had 3.5 miles to walk from the car that we parked just to the entrance of the first hike to get to the Narrows. And my mom's like, maybe we're not gonna do this, like maybe it's not possible. And I was like, we came here for the Narrows, we're gonna do it. You guys should have gotten up earlier. So I strapped a child onto me, my dad strapped a child onto him. Originally, we thought the kids were gonna walk a lot more. They hike quite a bit. Like we have trails back home where they hike a lot. We've never experienced a hiking experience where these kids were exhausted and freezing because we got there so early in the morning. It was cold and they were so tired that they just went directly into the packs. So the first 2 miles I carried Sparrow on the front of me, and Sparrow is my 4-year-old, so he's 40 pounds. And I'm pretty short, so compared to my body, it was hard to like see over his head and hold him. It was nice for me to have that experience to be able to hold Sparrow again, but it was hard. And then the last 13 miles, I carried Bodhi on my back. So as hard as it was to add on those extra 3.5 miles, and it seemed miserable knowing that like that wasn't even in the hike, it was extremely beautiful. There are not many instances in when people would be hiking through that part where we were at. Okay, this is day 2 in Utah. The scenery is insane. We just saw a mommy and a baby deer for Bodhi. We started out kind of on a rough patch this morning. We woke up at 4:15. We should have gotten up earlier. We didn't go to bed till like midnight. It's a little creek. We got up at 4:15. Started coming out here to the trail. Oh, there's more deers. Look, buddy, look, see the side. Oh, look at that. Behind you, see it?
Reindeer. Reindeer. Hello, reindeer. Hi, reindeer.
Say good morning.
Good morning.
Different things that we got to see. We got to see a lot of deer, a lot of wildlife up very close. It was just a really nice, beautiful view, and seeing the sky go from being dark to light it was just really pretty. So we hiked the 3.5 miles. We got to the base camp. We go to the bathroom and we eat snacks and we're like, we're gonna keep going. And that's 2.5 miles to the actual Narrows. But again, I mean, these first parts initially were extremely easy. They're paved, they're nice. It's almost more like a nature walk than a hike. Very, very beautiful. And we get there and we get to the Narrows and we're super excited. Welcome to the Narrows. That water, it's only like what, like 9:30?
We thought it was cold outside the water, now it feels warm.
I know, we have goosebumps outside the water. It numbs you. Like, I thought my feet were gonna hurt from blisters. You can feel nothing. Mom and Sparrow, my dad, are coming across now. Look for Sparrow's neon jacket and you can see him. It's so hard to walk on that though. Without.
That's gotta be so hard with Sparrow on his back.
Well, that's the thing, when the kids move around, it's hard.
I'm going with you.
It's so beautiful though. They're trekking across and struggling. And this is nothing. This is just the beginning and we're on like actual land. So it's not?
Oh, yeah. You have to enjoy the feeling.
Anyways, so we got to the Narrows and we're super excited, and we switched from our hiking boots, which this is an absolute no-brainer, but hiking boots make a huge difference. I hike quite a bit, and I hike quite a bit with kids, and I slide down the mountain. My feet hurt, my back hurt, my everything hurts from these crappy shoes that I wear while hiking. These ones, to be exact. Like, they're old, they're destroyed, they're not hiking shoes, but I got hiking boots. Huge difference. Like, by the time we started the Narrows, I felt like genuinely okay. I was a little bit sore from holding the kids for 3.5 miles already. I guess it was more than that at that point, but I was fine, you know. So we get to the Narrows and we switch into water shoes. Don't recommend the water shoes that we were wearing. The kind we were wearing were more for, like, you know, just putting them on, going into the lake, swimming, not hiking through the Narrows. The Narrows, though, was one of the most beautiful things I've ever seen. You step into that water and it was icy, like my skin instantly turned red. It was painful. It started to go numb because it was so cold. Then after a while, you really got used to it. And I thought people were crazy for saying that, but really, as you're walking, it gets higher. For me being so short, in certain spots, it got like up to here, and I was pretty okay. Like the moment that it hit right here, like my lower waist, I was cold and I was freezing, but after that I was just fine, honestly. I didn't think that it was bad at all. My son Bodie, who's 2, napped in the carrier on my back for a lot of that hike, and his feet were going in the water and he didn't wake up or care, so I don't think that it was too cold, and it got warmer as the day went on. It's just as we got in there, it was really early and very shaded. Which I do recommend getting there early. I do. As cold as it was, I recommend getting there early. It was absolutely beautiful. It was not as pretty. Of course, it's still pretty. But like, it was not as pretty coming back when it was bright as it was shaded, if that makes sense. So yeah, so we hiked through the Narrows. It was amazing. There are certain rocks where you step on and your foot just kind of slides down and gets eaten by the rocks, and you have to try and pull them up. There's other rocks where you stick them and they teeter like this and you're trying not to fall and you have to balance, or other rocks that are extremely slippery, so you step on them and you slide straight in. I did not fall. I had hiking sticks, which I highly recommend. I also was like really extra on watching every little step that I took and stuff, because I had a child on my back and he was sleeping and I didn't want to like fall on him and throw him into the water. So I definitely recommend the hiking sticks. The current was faster and stronger than I thought for somebody of my size. When I picked up my leg, it just went whoop, and would like pull it away. So you kind of had to be very intentional with each step that you took. With that being said, if you don't have a child on your back or you're not worried about falling, I don't think that it would have been too bad to fall. My brother fell a couple times. He was just fine. He was just very cold. So we didn't do the whole Narrows. We did 6 miles there and the 6 miles back, if that makes sense. We did 6 miles in, anyways, and I think it's like 9 or 9.5. So we didn't go all the way to the end, but it was absolutely gorgeous. We found a spot where you could fully submerge and swim in. Again, it was so cold that your body is burning. It hurt, but it's like, it was so beautiful that you would have missed an opportunity by not swimming in there. So I'll put a couple of clips of my sister swimming in there, and you can tell she's in pain, but like, it was worth it. I went in and I thought it was pretty much worth it. And then you have to head back, and I thought back was harder, and I couldn't tell if that's because I was tired or because the current really was like pushing me forward or what, but it was so much faster on the way back as well. I took so much time going up there, taking pictures, and just in awe. I honestly felt like I was in the movie Journey to the Center of the Earth. It was so absolutely beautiful. So we are taking a snack break. We just kind of went swimming in this little pool area. Bodie's been throwing rocks in. He's taking a snack. Sparrow, oh, sorry guys. Sparrow's over there taking a nap on my dad. I think went back that way to dry off because you kind of freeze once you, you know, take a swim. But I'm gonna show you guys this cool orb and show you guys what it does in the camera. Look at that. That is insane. I'm sorry that I'm so shaky, but look at that. Okay, 1 minute, Bubba. Isn't that beautiful? Insane, guys. The only hard part is on the way back, we still had to do those extra 3.5 miles, which was a painful thought because by that point, like, my dad and I had both carried kids the entire time, and with these carriers I had giant bruises on both of my hips. My shoulders were tired, my back was tired, my body just hurt. Back home I work out quite a bit, but with the virus, the gym not being open and being in such a new place, like, I had been doing home workouts and I was just not prepared for this trip. Just to say it plain, like, I was just not prepared. But I feel like it was still, I came out of it pretty much okay and really fine. Like, I think if I didn't have a kid on my back, it would have been genuinely easy and nice. I saw a lot of older people, I saw a lot of people carrying kids, and everybody seemed like it was completely doable if you're going to go with your children. And I think even Sparrow probably could have walked a lot of that if we were there to hold him or hold his hand and help him, because Kurt would have taken his little body away. But if we were there to help him, he would have been able to walk a lot of that, but he was just too tired. After that, we ended up getting home to the hotel, and it was extremely nice to have the pool and the hot tub. It was hard because, like, the kids had been in a pack all day long and napping all day long, so we got back and they're fully energized, and the rest of us were like, yeah, I'm tired, I can go for a rest, and they were like, no, we're not. So we went directly to the pool and to the hot tub, and that was really nice to have, to be able to just, like, decompress and let your muscles just chill for a minute. Sparrow came back from his walk around the fields, and then Bodie woke up, like, extremely early, so I went in there to grab him. Okay, so the next day, woke up in the morning, we got our little breakfast, we took our time just sitting on the balcony. That view was amazing, like, sitting on the balcony, eating breakfast was, like, one of the nicest things. It's just one of those little small things in life where you can just breathe and relax and eat your breakfast happily. So after that, we chose to do one of the little trails from the hotel while everybody was packing up. I had already pretty much had my stuff packed, so I packed it up really fast after breakfast and then did one of the trails with the kids. It was really nice. It was extremely easy. Like, we did it twice. Outside of the park, there is a little restaurant. Of course, I can't remember what it's called, but a little restaurant that was attached to a store. So it's got a store on the side, and it says restaurant access as well. We went to that restaurant. The food was amazing. I don't know if that's just because we hiked like 15 miles and we were starving, or if it was actually amazing, but the food is amazing. I would highly recommend that if you had to stop. We tried to go to a pizza place and it wasn't open yet, but I recommend that it was like a little burger joint. My kids are vegetarians, so they didn't eat a lot there, but they had options for everybody that everyone can enjoy. So it was really a good place. But overall, I really recommend, like, all of the things that we said. I wish that there was time for us to do more. I loved that we had our day to just explore and do our own thing, and also do one of the more popular hikes that are at Zion. I could see myself going back there, like having that be somewhere where I go back to once a year, but at the same time, there's so many things that I want to see, so I don't know if that's going to be something that we are going to do or not. But I highly recommend this trip if you're interested in doing the Narrows. A lot of different age groups can do it. Just watch out for, if it says the flood advisory, watch out for understanding that the rocks are slippery. Just kind of take your time. Definitely bring hiking sticks if you can. It was overall a very nice hike. I left it still feeling fine and still having a lot of energy. Yeah, and we were pretty much lucky. Also, my mom on the way back went up to one of the shuttle services. We didn't know on the way there that these things existed. She asked everywhere around the hotel, nobody told us, so she didn't know that these extra shuttles still existed. So she asked them on the way back, hey, do you guys have any room? The guy said, we have passengers who sometimes don't show up. If they don't show up, you can take their place. So she was able to go with Sparrow and Bodhi the way back, or last 3.5 miles back, just in the shuttle for the rest of us to walk, and that was like doable. You know, it was just so much easier without holding a kid for the last 3.5 miles. And they were able to get shade and food and water and whatever else they needed, because they did end up having those extra seats because those people never showed up. So if you don't want to walk those extra miles, get yourself a shuttle and be on time back, because I saw a lot of people not on time back and they had to end up walking. Anyway, so if you guys ever had an experience with anything in Zion National Park or any other national parks in Utah, please let me know. I'm always looking for different trails or hikes or things to do next with the kids. We're looking into Yellowstone. We were going to go to Yosemite, but we kind of got thrown out here. For those of you who don't know, we're currently in Minnesota on a farm, like a really large farm in the middle of nowhere. Apparently not in the middle of nowhere, because we've all of a sudden got a busy road, but you know what I mean. So we're up to traveling wherever in the US and finding different things that we can do in different hikes. But this is something that I enjoyed and I love for our family, so I wanted to share with you guys how it went for us and show you guys some clips of our trip. Yeah, so I hope you enjoyed watching. I will see you guys next week with a new video. I'm trying to stay on top of it, and I always say that. I know I don't. Life is crazy sometimes, but we are, you know, we're doing our best to enjoy beautiful nature. I love being on this farm because we've been outside all day long, and it's crazy because we literally just came back from that Utah trip not even 2 weeks ago, before we got in the car and drove all the way to Minnesota, which is 34 hours. And the scenery change is such a difference. Like, this place is absolutely beautiful. So much greenery and rolling hills, and I mean, it's just gorgeous. It's unreal. The mosquitoes are also unreal. But we just came from Utah, where there was like reds and greens and like those beautiful clay colors. So it's such a beautiful difference. So anyways, I am rambling on about nothing. My hair is being taken away by the wind. I haven't even brushed it yet, which I'm sure everybody can tell. But I hope that you guys enjoyed the video. I hope that there was something helpful in it for you guys. And if not, we have this memory of how our trip went for us. So thank you for watching. He doesn't care. Thank you for watching. Bye. Bye.